I've ever wondered about the history of Manteca, California. It's a tale that harks back to the mid-19th century, a time when the Golden State was still a frontier. It was during this era that a certain Joshua Cowell, a pioneer in every sense of the word, set his sights on this fertile land. Cowell, drawn by the promise of California, acquired a swath of land in the area that would become Manteca. With an eye for opportunity, he established a ranch, taming the wild terrain to make way for civilization. But Cowell's vision didn't end there. He donated a portion of his land for a railroad station, a pivotal decision that would shape the future of the area. This station would come to be known as Cowell's Station, a beacon of progress in the untamed wilderness. And so began the humble beginnings of Manteca. As the late 1860s rolled in, so did the Central Pacific Railroad. This monumental event would forever change the course of Manteca's history. Consider this: before the railroad, transporting goods was a time-consuming and costly affair. Farmers had to rely on horse-drawn wagons, and the journey to market could take days, even weeks. But with the arrival of the railroad, everything changed. Farmers now had a fast, efficient, and economical means of transporting their produce. Imagine the excitement of the time. The railroad was not just a symbol of progress, but a tangible link to opportunity and prosperity. Manteca, with its fertile soil and favorable climate, was already an agricultural hub, producing bountiful crops of wheat. The railroad provided the perfect conduit to transport this wheat to markets far and wide. With this newfound connectivity, Manteca's wheat began making its way across the nation, putting this small community firmly on the map. But wheat was just the beginning. As the decades rolled on, the area started to diversify its agricultural production, branching out into dairy farming. The railroad played an instrumental role here as well, allowing dairy farmers to transport their products quickly and efficiently. Fresh milk, cheese, and butter from Manteca's farms reached tables hundreds of miles away, contributing to the local economy and bolstering the community's reputation as a formidable agricultural powerhouse. The Central Pacific Railroad, in many ways, was the lifeblood of Manteca's burgeoning agricultural industry. It facilitated growth, brought prosperity, and transformed this humble farming community into an economic force to be reckoned with. But perhaps more importantly, it shaped the identity of Manteca, helping to forge a community spirit that persists to this day. The arrival of the railroad was indeed a game changer for Manteca. In 1918, our community was officially christened Manteca, a name that may raise eyebrows, yet it's steeped in the region's early agricultural heritage. The word manteca is derived from the Spanish term for lard or lard pot, a staple in many traditional kitchens. This moniker was not a random choice, but a reflection of the region's thriving dairy farming and food processing industries. Picture this: landscapes dotted with cattle and the air filled with the hustle and bustle of food processors, turning the raw produce into edible wonders. Lard, a byproduct of this process, was an essential ingredient in many recipes and a common sight in the kitchens of Manteca. The name Manteca was thus a nod to the community's roots, celebrating the hard work and dedication of its early settlers. It showcased their commitment to transforming a once barren land into a flourishing agricultural hub. Thus, Manteca was born, its name a nod to its agricultural roots. Over the years, Manteca's agricultural landscape began to diversify. Gone were the days of a singular focus on wheat and dairy. Instead, the fields began to burst with a vibrant array of crops. Tomatoes, sugar beets, alfalfa, and almonds became the new stars of Manteca's agricultural scene. This diversification was no accident. It was a testament to the fertile soil that cradled each seed and the favorable climate that nurtured their growth. The warm Californian sun shone down on the fields, coaxing the plants towards the sky, while the rich soil delivered the nutrients they needed to flourish. This evolution in agricultural practices was more than just a change in scenery. It represented the resilience and adaptability of Manteca's farmers. Their ability to diversify and grow with the times ensured their survival and prosperity. So, as the fields changed, so too did the fortunes of Manteca. Manteca's fertile lands bore fruits aplenty, literally and figuratively. Mid-20th century, Manteca saw a boom like no other. This was the period when Manteca's development took a turn from being primarily agricultural to a more residential and commercial landscape. The town began to bustle with new energy as subdivisions sprouted up, transforming the once rural landscape into a suburban haven. These new residential areas were not just homes, they were communities that brought together individuals and families, creating a vibrant social fabric that would come to define Manteca's character. This residential growth did not occur in isolation. It was paralleled by a significant surge in commercial development. The town's streets began to buzz with the establishment of various businesses, from retail stores catering to the growing population's needs to service providers offering everything from haircuts to home repairs. Manteca was becoming a self-sustaining urban center. But the city's commercial growth wasn't just about shops and services. Industries related to agriculture and manufacturing also began to flourish. These industries served as a bridge between Manteca's agricultural past and its urban present, creating jobs, boosting the local economy, and cementing the city's place in the broader economic landscape of the Central Valley. This period of growth wasn't just about bricks and mortar or even dollars and cents. It was about the transformation of a town into a city, of a farming community into an urban hub. It was about the evolution of Manteca's identity, from a place defined by its agricultural roots to a city characterized by its residential and commercial vibrancy. But perhaps most importantly, this boom in residential and commercial development was about the people of Manteca. It was about the new residents who came seeking opportunities, the entrepreneurs who set up businesses, and the workers who powered the industries. Together, they shaped Manteca's growth and development, contributing to the city's dynamism and diversity. Manteca was no longer just a small agricultural town, it was a growing city. This period of residential and commercial boom marked a pivotal chapter in Manteca's history, one that set the stage for the city's future growth and diversification. But Manteca wasn't just about business, it was about community too. As the city grew, so too did its commitment to nurturing an educated populace. Schools sprang up, transforming the landscape and the minds of those who called Manteca home. Knowledge became a cornerstone, shaping the city's future as much as its past. The growth was not limited to academics alone. Cultural amenities began to dot the cityscape. Parks where families could gather to enjoy the Californian sun, libraries that housed worlds within their walls, and community centers that became the heartbeat of the neighborhood. These spaces served as hubs for social interaction, fostering a sense of community pride and engagement. They became venues for civic discourse, for cultural exchange, for the forging of bonds that transcended the boundaries of age, profession, or background. They gave the people of Manteca a sense of belonging, a shared identity rooted in their city's unique story. Education and culture became integral parts of Manteca's identity. As we moved into recent decades, Manteca continued to evolve. The city embarked on a path of economic diversification, no longer solely reliant on its agricultural roots. Manteca began to capitalize on its strategic location in the heart of the Central Valley. A shift was seen towards sectors such as logistics and distribution centers, leveraging its proximity to major transportation routes. Healthcare, too, became a significant part of the city's economic landscape, catering to the needs of a growing residential population. Retail businesses sprouted in response to increased consumer demand, further bolstering the local economy. This economic diversification did not mean a departure from agriculture, but rather it supplemented and enriched it. Agriculture remained a vital part of Manteca's identity even as new industries emerged and thrived. Manteca today is a testament to its relentless drive for growth and diversification. A city that has beautifully interwoven its past with its present and is boldly stepping into its future. But growth is not all about expansion, it's about sustainability too. As Manteca's population burgeoned and its economy diversified, the city recognized the importance of making strategic investments in infrastructure and sustainability. Understanding that a thriving city needs a robust transportation network, Manteca has made significant improvements to its roads, bridges, and public transit systems. But the city's vision goes beyond mere infrastructure, it also involves nurturing the environment. Manteca has undertaken water conservation efforts, recognizing that every drop counts in a state like California, where water is a precious resource. The city has also made strides in environmental sustainability, adopting policies and initiatives to reduce its carbon footprint and promote the use of renewable energy. These concerted efforts in building infrastructure and promoting sustainability underscore Manteca's commitment to its future, a future where it continues to grow, but in a manner that is mindful of its resources and its environment. Manteca's journey from a rural agricultural community to a thriving city is truly remarkable.